Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into the ultimate survival toolkit for brand new parents. We're going to help you navigate those exhausting but absolutely beautiful first few months of newborn care. By tapping into the expert sources we're looking at today, we are taking all the guesswork right out of your nighttime routines. So let's get into it. Are your nights being completely broken by your baby waking up? Let's be real for a second. Sleep deprivation is incredibly tough, and it hits almost every single new parent. Especially in those first few months, it is totally realistic that you'll be up in the middle of the night. But rest assured, exactly how you handle that night shift makes a world of difference. Today, I promise to give you practical, expert-backed solutions to get your nights back on track as smoothly as possible, bringing some much-needed peace to both you and your little one. So here's our game plan for today. We'll be covering successful night feedings, figuring out how to choose the right diaper size, the crucial differences in changing boys versus girls, and finally, safely caring for that umbilical cord stump. All right, let's jump right into part 1, mastering the night shift with successful night feedings. Okay, so these initial steps are absolutely essential to keep in your back pocket. First up, observe. Newborns can be incredibly noisy sleepers. They grunt, they whine, they make all sorts of bizarre sounds while they are actually still fast asleep. So just wait a few seconds or even minutes before you react. Otherwise, you might accidentally wake up a perfectly sleeping baby. Second, you want to avoid light. Light is the enemy of sleep here. It instantly tells your baby's biological clock that it's daytime. Swap it out for a red nightlight instead. And third, use continuous white noise. Put that sound on loop because it acts as a constant, soothing signal that helps your baby fall asleep and, more importantly, stay asleep much longer. Now, to really protect that delicate post-feeding sleep, you've got to keep your baby warm, swaddled, or snug in a sleep sack, even while they're eating. But here's the catch. You still have to take the time to burp them. A trapped burp is a massive culprit for babies waking up way too early in those morning hours. If nothing comes up at first, no worries. Just keep trying for a bit. Beyond that, keep things incredibly boring. Minimize all stimulation. Even the sound of your normal voice is enough to wake a newborn right up, so try to keep talking and eye contact to an absolute minimum to avoid any day-night confusion. And here is a crucial takeaway. You absolutely do not need to be in the habit of changing the diaper every 3 hours during the night. A diaper change stimulates your baby enormously and wakes them up when they don't need to be. A little bit of pee really won't hurt their sleep. Only tackle a diaper change at night if it's completely full or if there's poop and it's absolutely necessary. Moving right along to our second module, let's solve the messy mystery of choosing the right diaper size. It's really interesting when you look at the standard weight ranges because they overlap and actually vary slightly depending on the brand. Take size 2, for example. One brand tells you it's for babies 3 to 6 kilos, but another brand says 4 to 8 kilos. Because babies come in literally all shapes and sizes, this perfectly proves that the physical fit, the unique body shape of your specific child, is way more important than their age or some strict weight limit on a box. So instead of stressing over the numbers, use this simple mental checklist to physically verify the fit. How do you know if a diaper is too big? Well, the leg elastics will be loose, the tabs will overlap each other on the belly, and you'll be able to easily fit more than 2 fingers between the diaper and your baby's tummy. On the flip side, a diaper is too small if it's no longer covering their bottom properly, you're struggling to close the tabs on the very edge, or you're seeing red marks on their skin from the friction. Check this regularly, and you'll save yourself from a lot of future blowouts. Transitioning a bit deeper into diaper duty, let's explore why your changing technique actually needs to adapt based on whether you have a boy or a girl. There is a major difference in the physical care required here. For boys, your best trick is to immediately cover his parts the second that diaper comes off. Boys can hold their pee and often decide to let it go the exact moment the cold air hits them. Covering up prevents his pee from spraying around the room like a sudden fountain. Now for girls, the absolute golden rule is that you must always wipe from front to back. Because the anus and vagina are so close together, the risk of urinary tract infections is much higher. Also, be sure you are very carefully cleaning and completely drying the many skin folds. And I want to explicitly bust a very common myth right here, right now. Do not apply soothing diaper cream as a standard everyday routine. You really should only be using this stuff for red or irritated spots. If you slather it on at every single change, that fragile baby skin actually gets so used to it that eventually it can't function properly without it. Now let's tackle what is probably the biggest source of new parent anxiety out there: safely caring for the umbilical cord stump. The natural drying process follows a few very clear visual steps, and knowing this timeline will help you stay perfectly calm. A lot of parents panic when the stump starts to look strange or smell a little unpleasant. They often mistakenly think their baby has pooped. But here's what actually happens. It starts out white and jelly-like right after birth. Over the next few days, it begins to shrivel and turn black. Finally, somewhere between day 5 and day 14, it'll just fall off completely on its own. You might even spot a little yellow, sticky patch underneath. Don't worry, those are just white blood cells doing their vital immune system work. Did you know that you actually shouldn't use alcohol on the umbilical cord anymore? In the past, every umbilical stump was routinely cleaned with 70% alcohol to prevent infections. It was standard practice. But, and this is a huge but, research now shows that alcohol actually destroys the good bacteria on the skin. And those normal, good bacteria are exactly the ones doing the vital work to help the stump dry up and fall off naturally. So instead of alcohol, emphasize these incredibly simple hygiene rules. Always wash your hands thoroughly with soap and water first, and otherwise just keep the area clean and dry. The ultimate pro tip here is to fold the front of the diaper down slightly, tucking it right under the stump. This lets the belly button air dry properly and stops the diaper from painfully rubbing against it. And above all else, never pick at scabs and never, ever pull on a stump, even if it looks like it's just hanging by a tiny little thread. You've got to let nature do the work.
Before we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a powerful message that popped up across all of our expert sources. You have to keep taking care of yourself. I know it sounds like a massive cliche, but it is incredibly true. If you're managing night feeds, particularly if you're breastfeeding, you must make sure you're drinking enough water. Put a water bottle right next to your bed so it's impossible to forget. If a feeding is dragging on, make yourself as comfortable as possible. Maybe pop in an earbud and listen to a podcast to gently keep yourself awake. Taking care of yourself is literally just as essential as taking care of your newborn. We have gone through an amazing amount of valuable information today. Armed with this knowledge, from running efficient, dark, quiet night feeds, to pinpointing the absolute perfect diaper fit, mastering changing techniques, and naturally caring for that umbilical stump, you are fully equipped. So, what does this all mean for you tonight? Are you ready to conquer the night shift? Think about which of these techniques you're going to put into practice first so you can reclaim your rest. Thank you so much for tuning into this explainer. You've absolutely got this. Sleep well later, and we'll see you next time.